to
This
cooperate
is
with
Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Welcome to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and I did not know how valuable or how high on the totem pole of what is important that people place Yetis. Have you ever taken a Yeti from someone's house, either on purpose or by mistake?
By accident.
And they just absolutely lose it.
Yeah, because that's like the primary, vessel to drink from now, apparently.
What if this person had, conservative guess, 64 Yetis in their cupboard,
That's
and
wild.
you take one of them?
That's wild.
I drank my coffee this morning out of a plastic cup.
That's crazy work. I'm Ricardo, and I'm a bit confused by this. How is there still 2 weeks left in August? I feel like we've been in August for...
There's no
13
way there's
weeks
2
now.
weeks left in
Yes,
August.
there's 2 full weeks left in August. 2 full weeks left in August.
Huh.
But if you want to join the conversation today, you can hit us up at 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259 on toll-free from the Family Islands at 242-300-5720. Text lines are also active today. If you want to hit us up via text, you can do so at 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Text line is powered by BTC. Standard text rate supply.
So we have, as you heard, it's just me and Ricardo in today. John is on the road doing things that John often does.
He probably building another Clay Thompson, Megan Thee Stallion relationship.
Why do you fault... Anyway.
I feel like everything related to behaving basketball has to go through John. So I feel like with some paperwork involved that she had to submit.
So you think when their people connected and they decided we may pursue this dating thing,
Yeah.
the paperwork had to run through
John had to
John
review the
first.
contract. He had to review the contract. He probably had to clear the amount of workout days,
And
the
he-
amount
and
of
he
date
approved.
days. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like John, not official.
So the important part you have to realize about the way 10th year seniors works and the way we get this done is that here's what happens on Friday. Me and John would be having a conversation, and he would message me to remind me that we have the show Saturday morning, because I forget every single week. This is a thing that we have. He is the bridge that connects this, and so he did it again this Friday, and here we are. So we are ready to go. But because of that, we have what we call a lazy river show.
You have to explain to the people what the Lazy River show is now.
Thank you. So we've all been in the lazy river before at one of our.
Everyone has.
What?
It's not a thing anymore. Like our generation, we understand it, but a lot of these kids don't know what a lazy river
The
is.
kids have to understand and
bro,
appreciate a lazy river.
They just go to big water theme parks and just be jumping off of mountains and stuff.
But I feel like within the confines of that, you have to have the lazy river. That's a staple. Like you can have all the exciting other stuff, but you must have the lazy
Nah,
river.
it's just big splash water slides now.
Is this just me being a parent?
Yeah.
All right. So the lazy river just meanders. It's a natural flow. You get in your tube and you just let the current take you wherever it goes.
Yeah.
And that is how this conversation is going to go today. It's a lazy river show. Shout out to the Dan Lebertar show. Taught me everything I know about the business. So with the lazy river show, we got a lot to talk about, and we have a wheel of issues. This is a first.
A what?
This is a first.
Go ahead.
Another first in the 10th year seniors platform, a wheel of issues. So we have so many things to talk about. We have constructed a giant wheel. Think of a game show. We have constructed a giant wheel here in the studio. Very quickly, I might add.
I think they could see us. There's a camera right there, so they know there's no wheel. It's all imaginary.
Theater of the mind.
Okay.
For the listeners on radio, we have constructed a giant wheel in the studio. Why would you give away the bit? You are a wrestling person. Kayfabe. Theater of the mind. So there's a giant wheel constructed in the studio. I will spin the wheel, and Carter will tell you where it lands.
Okay.
On the wheel of issues, we have several things. It's a big weekend in sports. We have the Kazova Volleyball Championships on the wheel of issues. We have, which starts tonight at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium. We have the NACAC Championships currently going on in Grand Bahama on the wheel of issues. We have Jazz Chisholm chasing a 30-30 season. 2 home runs, last 3 games. Another stolen bag last night. We have Jazz on the wheel of issues. We have NFL preseason
Yes.
is underway on the Wheel of Issues, and with that, fantasy football.
Okay.
Another thing on the Wheel of Issues. We have the NBA opening night schedule already being not the opening night schedule, the NBA schedule already being released. So there are certain dates that we can point at on the Wheel of Issues. And then finally on the Wheel of Issues, we have where John is in Nicaragua with the senior men's national basketball
I feel
team.
like you have to switch that lead because if you just say in Nicaragua, people be like, why is John in Nicaragua?
What? When is he? Okay, out of all Bahamians, he spends less time actually in the Bahamas than anyone who's not a politician. But we will spin the Wheel of Issues, and Carter will tell you where it lands. 1 second as I spin. Nope, that's not correct. This makes for great radio. All right. And Carter, where did it land?
I have no clue.
Jesus Christ. So bad at this. The Wheel of Issues landed on the FIBA AmeriCup team currently in Nicaragua. They had their first scrimmage. So on this team, so when people hear the national basketball team, I think we have to separate the events and separate the windows, because I've had casual conversations about this, and people always assume that it's going to be Buddy, Eric Gordon, and DeAndre Ayton.
Factual. That's the only thing we know about basketball now. Like when John posted the lob that was, I think it was Keno that put the lob down.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, so where, Buddy? And
Right.
It's like, you have other things like.
Okay, so as you can clearly see, even from Team USA and from everybody else, the NBA players are not playing in this window.
Nah, they think LeBron is play every round.
Because the NBA ones that are playing right now is the ones that are going to play in Eurobasket.
Right.
So you see Luka and those guys doing that. But for our region, the NBA players are not playing. So if you look at Team USA, it's a lot of names that you wouldn't know. Probably journeymen that spent some time briefly, some journeymen that spent a whole lot of time in Europe, maybe brief spots in the NBA. So that's like the level of competition. So
Guys that are trying to earn their way back into the States.
You're not going to get the NBA guys in this. But this is very important for us, because this is the restart of that qualification window looking ahead to LA 2028. And all of these tournaments are connected. So if you do, the thing is, we don't want to be in the spot where we were last cycle, where we had to play in that final qualifying tournament right before the Olympics. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we were playing that in July, Olympics were in August. We don't want to be there. We want to qualify early. And so to do that, you got to do good at AmeriCup, get to the World Cup. If you're a World Cup team, then you don't have to worry about any of the qualifying tournaments after that. So that is where we want to be. But to do that, got to do good at AmeriCup first. And I think we have the team that can get it done. This team is supposed to be led by Kai Jones, but I think what makes this different for us is we got a Mobley. We got a Mobley.
Tell the people about it.
I feel like people know Evan Mobley, right? NBA Defensive Player of the Year, mainstay on the Cavs roster, going to be a perennial All-Star. We don't have that one. We have Isaiah Mobley. We have the brother. Much like we didn't have Clay, but we had Mikey. We always get one of the brothers. Except for the Gordons. We got both of those.
Okay.
But so we have Isaiah Mobley on this team, which Isaiah Mobley's a very good player. Been hanging around the NBA briefly and the NBA G League for a while, is going to play in Europe this year. But his first time in a Bahamas basketball uniform, very enthused about it, had 9 points, 13 boards. Well, first of all, they're at training camp. The actual AmeriCup doesn't start until the 22nd, but they have 2 weeks of training camp, and they played their first scrimmage against Nicaragua. Absolutely dominated that game. I mean, by like 40 points. Easily. We're leading the game by 40 points. But getting Isaiah Mobley is very important, because
and I think this is,
you don't want to split up the Mobley family.
No, but you kind of undersold his talent. Like,
I did not.
You presenting everything about Evan made it seem like, okay, we got the other one. But the other one
get the other one.
Right, but the other one is still a perennial talent. What I'm trying to say is, no, he's not an all-star. No, he's not dominant in the NBA. But at this level of what we're trying to do in Nicaragua, he's the prototypical guy you want in a spot like this. Somebody that has something to play for, that is eager to put up numbers, and could do so on a team that could use that. So,
and not just about the players that are on the floor. This is also very important for us and for Bahamas basketball in general, because you have somebody that made the shift 1 year from a player to a coach. So now Tum Tum Nairn, who's been a part of this program since he was a junior,
Right.
now stepping into the ranks and, well, not beginning his coaching career because he coaches at the NCAA Division I level at Bowling Green, but his debut as a national team head coach. And you always got to wonder about that dynamic with someone, and you're coaching guys who you played with. You're coaching guys who you've been in the
But I
trenches
feel like
with.
this is the norm in basketball in particular now. Well,
This is very soon, though.
Right, I know, but at the same time, it's starting to even become somewhat prototypical in the NFL. But what you have is a situation where guys kind of relate to guys that made the transition from the floor over to the sideline with that mindset, like a point guard mindset, being able to see the game from the sideline at that level. And tremendous story. Tum Tum has done a tremendous job for the national team, developing along the way, top tier point guard. So yeah, I feel like it's a good, easy transition.
What do you think about how that works, though? Because I think there are always people on opposite sides of that argument because, like I said, it's a quick turnaround. He was literally on the team in Spain last year. Like, how does that dynamic work? You going from someone who you are one of the guys to the next time we go on the floor, you're an authority figure.
It doesn't always work out like this where the guys that you end up coaching are the exact players that you played with. Normally it's a guy that left another team and then ends up being a coach.
And that's why I think this is so different.
I think this is better because I think a lot of the guys in that huddle now, they know what they got from Tum Tum, just like you said, in Spain last year. So they now trust him a bit more because they're like, all right, I remember when he was on the court, this is what he presented, this is what he saw, this is how he directed us. Now he's doing that from the sidelines. I feel like the trust factor is there for somebody like Tum Tum and the other senior players on that team.
So biggest question mark for me is Kai Jones committed to this team. Kai Jones is supposed to be on this roster. It's been very publicized that Kai Jones also spent 3 to 4 days with the Miami Heat working out with them. And I feel like if you bring someone back for workouts for several days,
it's likely.
It's likely that you are going to end up on that roster. I do not know what that is going to mean for America. I do not know if that puts his chance of suiting up for us in jeopardy. I don't know if those two things are even connected. This is pure reckless speculation.
Shout out to the Miami Heat. I like the fact that if he does sign with them and he does make that roster, it's only a skip, hop, and a jump away to be able to see him play live. The only problem I have with this, I feel like when it comes to Kai, there's some sort of internal NBA, like some sort of plan at play. Because every time we get close to having Kai in one of these rounds, there's an NBA team that just scoops him up and it's like, yeah, we don't want you to play down there. I feel like it's a conspiracy at this point. They're trying to keep Kai off the national team.
And I don't know why they would do that. We have such a great relationship with Miami.
We do.
But although... and Luka was the one that actually gave voice to this, right? Because like we mentioned, the NBA players are playing in Eurobasket. And Luka said, I can't remember the name of his teammate, but he was very vocal saying, a franchise like the Lakers has no issue with me going to play. But one of his teammates is playing for a lesser club, and I think it's Italy or something like that. And he said, they're prohibiting him from playing, which is insane to me because the Lakers are the gold standard.
And he's Luka.
And he's Luka. Well, that may have more to do with it than the actual team, right? But there's a lot left to be seen. Like I said, the tournament doesn't start until the 22nd.
No, I feel like Kai has been there going on 6 days now. He's
been in Miami a minute.
So yeah, I feel like once he can,
I know what 6 days in Miami can do.
Oh boy. But if he can get the paperwork sorted out, I hope for his future in the league, I hope that this happens for him. But at the same time, I think it gives him enough time to get down in Nicaragua and contribute in some which way.
Yeah, and
to be fair, he doesn't need, not to say that he's like that guy, but he doesn't need all the training camp hours. He can work around it.
Yeah, and we want to be selfish, but we also got to think big picture. Because, I mean, what's more important for your NBA career, obviously, is you solidifying everything you need to do if that contract's available with the Heat.
I'm pretty sure that the team understands.
But you see how festive the studio is? It is all about national pride.
They got to take this down.
They do not have to take it down. It can be like this the entire time.
We got to switch it to something. Like, get some NFL paraphernalia in here or something. Like, we need to liven this up a bit. Do something else.
Speaking of which, we got to spin the wheel of issues once again to see where we go next. Follow the lazy river. All right, I got it this time.
Oh, it's actually quicker. Wow.
Carter, where did the wheel of issues land?
Still don't know.
I miss John so much. The wheel of issues landed on NFL preseason and fantasy football, all in one segment. So we're going to start with NFL preseason, and of course, we have to start Bahamian centric before we talk about.
No, we don't.
We absolutely will start Bahamian centric, and we will start with Denzel Daxon.
Go ahead.
Denzel Daxon plays tonight as the Dallas Cowboys play their second game of the preseason against my favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens. Denzel Daxon, second-year defensive tackle for the Cowboys on what can best be described as a depleted defensive line. Had the only sack of... Why you laugh? They're very depleted. They're in a public contract dispute with their best player.
It's wild.
But had the Cowboys only sack of the game in their first preseason matchup against the Rams. I hope this bodes well for him moving forward. He was able to get an international player exemption for his rookie season, went undrafted out of Illinois, but I'm hoping he makes a mark in this preseason and is able to become a contributor in this lineup because the Cowboys could use it.
Yeah. I hate to say it like this because for all the Cowboy fans, and I hope you get it resolved with Michael Parsons, but if you don't, the Patriots looking for a defensive end. Just putting it out there.
The Patriots are always looking for something.
But relative to Dax, I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for him to show what he has. They have nothing. They have nothing. Cupboard is bare. Go out there and ball out, young fella. Do what you got to do to make this roster. I think we up the 55 win in the next week and a half.
Uh-huh.
So go out there, ball out. This is the last time for you to showcase to make the next cut. Do what you got to do.
And I think his story to me is one that we can follow that pattern so much because I always felt like one of the gaping voids in Bahamian sports, and I get all the infrastructure issues and the reasons why we don't have it or we're not able to participate in it at that level, but the interest is so heavy here in American football, right? And if there were just more avenues to pursue, there could be so much more stories like Denzel Daxon or like Mike Strawn or like his brother Prince Strawn who's at USC right now. And all of these are individual stories where people took the initiative and like, I'm going to follow behind this sport and I'm going to pursue it. And you have guys making it to the highest level.
Yeah, both you and I, we came up for a bit in the local...
the CAFL.
Yeah, I don't want to call it like a professional league, but whatever you want to call it. And you look at it like that and you say to yourself... You look at it like that and you say to yourself, the talent is there. You hear a lot of guys say sometimes, and we had the national volleyball team players in yesterday on the White Show we had, and the whole idea is I transitioned from my sport that didn't work out into volleyball. When you talk about football, you have that a lot of time. You have guys that didn't try work well in track. They transition over, became a really good wide receiver, became a really good running back. Same thing with linebackers. Same thing with offensive linemen, guys that you could transition into this. And I feel like if we just set the structure up to allow for that to happen, you'll see quick development. You see a lot more guys getting off to school, if not at the Division I level, certainly at the Division II or Division III.
And you know what it is, though? It's because football is one of the sports that allows for so many different body types and skill sets to be able to be a part of it, right? So what is the Bahamas always known for? Speed, athleticism, we either running really fast or jumping out of the gym. Yeah. Denzel Daxon ain't none of that. He's a defensive tackle. Yeah. So you can.
But to his credit, he's
really No, for in his specific skill set. But to your point, you got a whole lot of dudes that come 4th, 5th, or 6th in the 100 meters at a track meet, and they would be an incredible DB or an incredible running back. You can find these players and mold them into something else because Denzel Daxon went to Florida to finish high school, didn't know he was going to end up in the NFL, but that's the way it happened.
I like to say he came with that macaroni body and it just worked out. It just worked out.
So you can hopefully he gets another sack tonight. Hopefully he makes an impression, not on Lamar Jackson. Hopefully he makes an impression.
Lamar Jackson ain't get to the field tonight.
I know, but I mean he's gonna be there for moral support.
Yeah, that's true. Don't sack Lamar Jackson on the sideline, please. Don't do that. Don't do that.
For my selfish reasons, I just need Lamar to stay away from all of this and let's just focus on the preseason. I say R because I'm completely off.
He's not a Raven fan.
I am completely. You can't tell me what I am.
I can tell you. Like y'all Dolphin fans is stretched.
No. Stop that. Stop. Let's stop that right now.
Go ahead.
Let's stop that right now. And I don't care how much time we got until the half. We got 7 minutes till the half. I will use all of it on this.
Tell me how you transitioned from being Miami.
Careful how you use that word transition. How I transition, because this is 2025, and you
Okay.
know,
How did you assume the role of a Baltimore Raven fan?
the same way you assume the role of being a fan of anything. I think fandom should be fluid. You know what we do is, man, when we are 10 and 11 years old, we pick these teams, and that is supposed to be what we follow for the rest of
Tell
our
you
lives.
die, bro.
We
don't commit to much, but that you commit to.
we are irrationally loyal to these uniforms.
That's your
and
heart, boy.
It is not.
That's your
It
heart.
is not. I have given them 30 years. They have given me one playoff win in that time span. I have given them enough. And I say I will do no more. And that is it. I am giving away my Tua Tagovailoa jersey. All the best to them. They've had some of the best fandom years of my life, but I pledge my allegiance to Lamar Jackson.
Let me ask you
Baltimore
this. How good
Ravens.
was Dan Marino?
Dan Marino was the most talented quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Who did he play for?
He played for the Dolphins.
All right. They ain't the best years of your life?
I was 6.
Okay.
It's okay now. He's been retired longer than I've seen him play.
Jordan's somewhere in Nicaragua right now. It's like, nah, boy, Dan Marino's the greatest of all time.
And listen, that's fine. And I got deleted out of Dolphin groups, but it's time. How long do I have to suffer? I choose no longer to suffer in silence.
Big bro, I sat through 2 years of Mark Jones. I know what it is to be committed. You committed to your Dolphins. Don't switch up now.
You shut your face. 2 years of Mac Jones. You watch the Patriots win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
Six.
You watch them dominate, literally pencil their name into the divisional round just because they dominate that division for 2 decades.
Yep.
You do not know what my struggle is, and I would appreciate it if you do not attempt to appropriate it.
We had 1 year, 2 years of Mark, 1 year of Cam. We had a year of Matt Castle in there for a bit. We had a bit of Jacoby Brissett last year. And now we on to like year 2 of Drake May. I feel like I right there. 2 has been in the league how long?
Do you want to have the Trauma Olympics right now?
No, I just
They
say
tried
it.
to sell me on Jay Fiedler being a quarterback. They tried to sell me on Ray Lucas being a quarterback. They drafted Pat White. I had 7
You should
years.
probably tell him who was in the draft with Pat White.
Doesn't matter. I had 7 years of, is Ryan Tannehill good? Is he not?
He was decent.
That is now repeated with 7 years of, is Tua good? Is he not?
I feel like it's a different conversation with Tua.
Only in this case, can he stay on the field? Can he not?
There we go.
I'm done with all of it, and that's okay. And I want anyone out there under the sound of my voice, if you have been trapped in this loveless relationship with the Miami Dolphins, you can free yourself. You don't have to do it.
You don't have to free yourself. What you should do is just take the time and focus on fantasy football.
You can focus on fantasy football, but the thing about it is, we're going to get to that after the half. I want to stay here and talk about how fandom is fluid, because we don't have to continue doing this. Why must we do it for the teams
I
that we picked
feel
in
like
our
this
childhood?
is going to be a U.S. border education discussion. Can fandom be fluid at some point? Like, it's crazy.
It has to be.
No.
It has to be.
No.
Because, okay, why can't I say, you know what? Lamar Jackson is very talented.
You could say that, but now you're quarterback.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's as simple as saying, this is my quarterback now.
No, you can't say that. You have one quarterback for the period of time that he wears your team's jersey. Lamar Jackson is not your quarterback.
Okay.
He's a great quarterback. He's a quarterback that you like to watch play, but he's not your quarterback.
How do we select teams in the first place? When you were a child and you decided that you were going to root for the New England Patriots, how did that happen?
I was captivated by Drew Bledsoe, strange enough. Not Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe. And I was just like, I want this team to win. And they didn't win. They lost. But I was like, yeah, that's a cool team. I like the helmet. And everything took off from there.
So explain to me the difference now.
Yeah, but then I fell in love. And once I fell in love, that became there was no changing after that. Those are my guys. And I'm with them.
Do you
Those are my people.
believe it's possible to fall out of love?
Not with the Patriots.
Not with the Patriots, but if you can fall in love, I believe you can fall out of love, and I don't think that means you are attached to them for a lifetime. The players aren't even attached for a lifetime. Why are we?
I beg to differ.
Emancipate yourself from some mental slavery.
I'm never going to do that when it comes to the Patriots.
I don't say you have to. I'm just saying I need you to understand and empathize why I can no longer do the
No,
Dolphin thing.
I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson isn't one of your favorite quarterbacks. I'm just saying he's not your quarterback.
He absolutely is.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
You know what? I already
So
have.
let me ask you like this.
I already have merch.
What?
I already have merch. Like this is a thing that's happening.
I have to ask. How many colleges exist out there? Or how many universities exist out there?
Too many.
Okay. Who's the best?
At what?
At being a university?
Harvard.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
At what? The funny thing about it is Lamar Jackson went to Louisville.
So he definitely cannot be your quarterback. No.
Let's be very clear about something. Kentucky basketball and Kentucky football are not the same. So we are not gonna do that. But we will head to the half. When we come back, we will continue to talk more about football. We're gonna talk about some fantasy football and what you can do with that right here in the Bahamas. There's something big on the horizon.
Reliable and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking for your dream job in paradise? At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, we're hiring. And with over 200 positions available, we're confident you'll find your perfect fit. Whether you're passionate about keeping guests safe as a lifeguard, or if mixing up refreshing cocktails as a bartender is more your speed, there's a spot waiting just for you. Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career to explore openings and apply today.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and I'm still flabbergasted at the importance that people place on Yetis. You could drink your coffee out of anything.
I'm Ricardo, and I'm still flabbergasted at how much we don't do of promoting our podcast when we're on live. So if you want to dive in, football season upcoming, we always do it big for the football season. We get into the back and forward on the read option. If you want to dive into any of that in all of our other podcasts, you can hit up the 10YS Podcast Network, Facebook, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts. Go ahead and get it in.
There is a running theme that we do have. I don't want to call it a running theme, but it's something that Cotto and John always say, and it's not factually correct, but it may be a part of the reason why they think that I'm making the move to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
Go ahead.
They think
You racist. You racist.
I am not. I am not. They think that I only root for black quarterbacks.
Racist.
That does not make me a racist.
Okay, watch this. What is Patrick Mahomes?
He's black.
Okay. What is Lamar Jackson?
Also black.
What is Deshaun Watson?
Don't use that one.
This is the only way I can convince people how bad it is. Dahl is one of the persons who died on the Sean Watson Hill.
I did not. That was before I knew any of. That is before I knew anything that he was doing with massage therapists. Houston Deshaun Watson, I was a huge fan of. Houston Deshaun Watson, I thought was going to be a surefire Hall of Famer. Houston Deshaun Watson, I considered rooting for his team. This person with the Browns, absolutely not.
I know we want to get into fantasy, but I have to ask. So this is a conversation I've been having because of Shador being on the Browns.
Yes.
Do we ever see the return of Deshaun Watson? I agree. All the accusations and all the things that he's now known for set aside. He, like you said, he was definitely on the trajectory to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Do we ever see anything close to that again from him?
If it does, there's no way it could be in this uniform, right?
Wow.
But it's very possible that he takes the biggest guaranteed contract we've ever seen and just rides off into the sunset because the way the last 2 years have looked, it seems as if he just cannot overcome everything that has happened to be good at football anymore. Yeah. Because the one thing that this game would do, the market will tell you when you are no longer good at football, and that's just going to be it. Because if they get, and you can have your opinion on how this happened, but he ended up back on the field. So obviously the NFL machine gave him a blie about all the other legal troubles. Yeah. He was back on the field. He got the money, got his opportunity to go. He just is not the same guy. And there may be a team that'll take a flyer on him to come in and be a veteran backup or see if he can recapture any of that Houston stuff. But I don't think it happens in Cleveland, and I don't even know if he has it anymore, to be perfectly honest. I don't know.
I just wanted to dive in that. It's not to say that it is to say the talent technically could possibly still be there.
I don't think the talent's
I just don't
there
think
anymore.
mentally he's in the right frame of mind, football-wise, and I don't think he's been there for quite some time.
What if he never mind.
Go ahead.
We're going to spin the wheel.
Probably just need to relax. I know you was going with this. You probably just need to clear his mind.
There's a lot of ways to relax. He should never do that one anymore. Yeah. We are going to spin the wheel of issues once again to see where we go next here on the Accredited. It's a very complex wheel. We constructed this right before the show. Cardo, where do we end up on the wheel of issues?
I think I know this one. I think we're going to fantasy now.
There you got it.
And the only reason I know this is because if you play fantasy football and you got one league out there and some money on the line, hit me up.
You know this because we constructed the giant wheel and it says right here in big block bold letters, fantasy football.
I just want to make money, bro. If the money out there in the league, good, let me know.
That's why we wake up every Saturday morning and do this, and I forget every Friday night. But fantasy football, it has become a global phenomenon. If you are connected in any way, you already made the connection between those two things, right? Money, and you can do it for bragging rights, but you made the connection.
No, that's a waste of time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. If I gotta sit in the group text for like 16 weeks of y'all talking nonsense and don't know football, you better have some money on that, bro.
Let me ask you something. Do you think fantasy has made you a better or a worse fan?
Worse. Because I can tell you there's a lot of guys out there breaking up their bodies and I'd be dead mad. There was a stretch last year when Justin Jefferson did not play. And mind you, I love that. I love him from he was in LSU.
Yeah.
But boy, them weeks he was off the field, I was pissed. Bro, you walking up and down, doing all these things on the sideline, and you can't suit up?
I'll do you one worse.
Go ahead.
Remember when Damar Hamlin died on the field?
Oh my God, now don't do this. Go ahead.
In that game, I had Jamar Chase. And this was, as you know, this was the end of the season. This was to decide the championship. Nobody knew what was going to happen with that game because we've never seen an NFL game just had to end like that.
Yeah.
And what was the implications it was going to have on fantasy?
Cut them stats.
They cut the stats. I was down by 8 points. I had Jamar Chase. I was going to win. And the only thing that stopped me from winning this league was Damar Hamlin died for a split second on the field. That is the worst beat in fantasy football history. And the kind of things that I thought, it took me to a dark place and I said, maybe I should take a year or two off from fantasy football because it's turning me into someone I don't know.
No,
if I
we had
want
to
be.
talk about this. Let me tell you why. I saw a video of him this week getting a back tattoo to commemorate the moment.
Commemorate the moment he died on the field.
If that was me, if I was in your shoes and that happened, nah, bro, you have to take that tattoo off.
The kind of things that I said and the kind of things that I thought as I saw the money wither away because Damar Hamlin died on the field, I realized that I was becoming a terrible person.
Nah, but he had to
take a step
write
back.
me when Jack at least half the money, though.
Did not.
You had to work that out.
But I am back in fantasy football now. I am back. I feel like I did the work. I went to therapy for that. I did the work. I'm back. So ESPN has an Ultimate Fantasy Football Weekend that they do down here in conjunction with... We could say it. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Right? So they do that at Bahamar. And if you saw last year, this came to my attention last year when one ESPN analyst, very famous fantasy football analyst, Field Yates. I get those two mixed up. I don't know how one's white, one's black. It's like mixing up me and John.
I just found it's black Scottish people, so.
Wait, what?
I just thought it was black Scottish people. It sounds weird to say it like that, but I had no idea.
Why do you say things that derail me like that? Because now you have to go on.
I did not know that there was a whole
How did you discover this?
TikTok. So I was scrolling one day.
It's how you discover anything.
I was scrolling one day and I just like I heard a Scottish person
Talking
and I was
like Conor McGregor.
Yes, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then for some strange reason, I just focused on the video and I was like, wait, that's black Scottish people?
Looking like Lamar Jackson, but talking like Conor McGregor.
And apparently there's a whole thing on TikTok right now where people are discovering black Scottish people. I didn't know. I did not know.
This is what I'm going to spend the rest of my afternoon doing. Thank you.
Look it up. Look it up. It's
I am going to look it up. So, ESPN Fantasy Football Weekend, and your boy will be the commissioner for our local media league called Mic'd Up Mayhem. Now, I take my role as an authority figure very, very seriously.
I thought you were going to say unseriously.
I was being facetious.
Oh, okay.
Completely unserious. This league is going to be absolute chaos, and they may rue the day that they put me in charge of anything. Most people do.
Yeah,
most people do. You
now.
put me in charge of something, it usually follows with regret. But that is what is going to happen here. But no, we're going to have a great time. I think the fact that you take a location like the Bahamas and you bring the entire ESPN machine, and because fantasy football is a monster, and the great thing about it is everyone gets to be a GM.
Yeah.
So you get to be involved in the game, not just watching, but you have some modicum of decision making. Everyone can get to feel like Jerry Jones, and that is the most beautiful part of fantasy.
If you feel like Jerry Jones, please pay the people. Please. That's all I ask it. You don't want your team to be in a Jerry Jones situation. You saw Lon Dockman struggling, but he get paid.
Struggling? What's he struggling in? Not life. Struggling? I don't want that kind of struggle. You think Dak Prescott is struggling? He has some people yapping about him on the internet. Dak Prescott gets everything he wants.
Except a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Fair point.
Speaking of that, before we get off this thing about Jerry, right? When did you think he determined that it was the right time to tell everyone he beat stage 4 cancer?
As soon as the pressure got taught. Y'all gotta understand that.
You know the kind of things that Jerry Jones has had scandal about him with in the last few years. This is the thing that did it? The Micah Parsons contract negotiation.
I realized two things about Jerry Jones. He's cheap, and he doesn't want people to think that he's racist.
I don't know if he's cheap.
He's cheap now. What are we talking?
I don't think he's cheap.
When did we find out that the Cowboys was close to paying off their mortgage for the new building?
I understand that.
When we found out that he wasn't paying Michael Parsons, he came up with everything to explain why he ain't spending money. Jerry Jones was like, yeah, but I beat cancer. Yeah, but you still got to pay Michael Parsons. You know how much money I just spent on this building? And y'all were Michael. Yeah, but you still got to pay Michael Parsons. Yeah, we had a fight back in '92. Michael Irvin did so and so. Like, he brings up everything because he doesn't want to pay Michael Parsons. That's cheap.
I know he ain't bringing back Little Rock, Arkansas.
Well, he might.
He ain't bringing it back because that picture, he want that picture scrubbed from the earth.
Yeah.
He want that scrubbed from the net. He ain't want to bring that up.
He might go to Epstein Road and expose a couple more people just to keep the pressure off.
But this is why I thought it was so crazy for him to bring up the cancer diagnosis now. I thought he would have done it then. He's had so much scandal where he could have been like, you know what, I could swing.
That just goes to show you how cheap he is. He rather you know, bro, this has just happened to me. Rather than just pay it, he'd rather you walk away thinking, yeah, boy, That might be a touch racist.
He became the literal face of racism. You know, like how we always would see those pictures or videos from the civil rights era, and you have the really, really angry white people shouting at the black person just trying to go to school.
It's crazy to me because
he was literally the face.
No, this is why it's so crazy to me. Because he knew that picture existed forever.
Of course he did.
And he never in any way attempted to say, yeah, but don't make sure that picture get up. Like, you know you in the background of pictures walling up.
Or tell people that it was going to come up. To his credit, though, he didn't look angry. He was standing there.
He's angry by association.
He was there. He was amongst the angry. And I'm just saying, if you ain't down with it, I wasn't going to be standing around and people. That's all they saying. But, hey, it is what it is. So, yes, ESPN Fantasy Football Weekend. The biggest thing about fantasy is not draft order and not who you would select. It's coming up with the team name. So I feel like I have to spend... I only have until Thursday to figure out what my team name is going to be.
I've had the same fantasy football team name for the last, 5 seasons in every one of my leagues.
I have thoughts. I have ideas. What's your team name?
He won already.
Nah.
I'm always leading at halftime. So when you see it, you know.
He won already.
There we go.
See, I feel like... I gotta listen to clips again. I'm gonna go with clips. I was thinking just go with the album name. I was thinking about just go with the album name. I might just name it "Let God Sort 'Em Out." I might just ride with that.
Depending on which wide receiver you get, that be top tier.
I know I ain't going Tyreek. So you can pay attention to your boys at the ESPN Ultimate Draft Weekend. I will give you weekly updates. I know people always say you don't want to hear about anyone's fantasy football team. Well, you are going to get our fantasy takes, and you are going to get our football takes all season. I will tell you everything you need to know about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
I'm telling you right now, as we get closer and closer to football season, we talking fantasy football, we talking bets, we talking everything. We trying to get paid. We trying to get paid.
Or it's because we love the sport and we want to talk about it as much as possible.
You just sent me, Doc. Don't care about no kind of winning, no kind of. He care about money. We trying to get paid. We in the NFL because we trying to get paid. That's what we here for. On both ends, fandoms. We try to get paid.
Ravens flock. All right, you want to spin the wheel of issues again?
Last time.
All right, we spin the wheel of issues one more time. Let me make sure I am correct here as I spin this giant wheel. It's tough to spin the wheel of issues.
Very easy.
Constructed this right before the show. What a great device. Carter, where did we land on the wheel of issues?
I was only here to make money, so I have absolutely no clue where we landed.
We've done this 4 times now. You got it right once. And at some point, I have to question whether you are purposely sabotaging the show and you are purposely not being a good teammate.
You best believe that.
I miss John so much. I really miss John so much. So, like you had on your show yesterday, you had some volleyball players in studio. You got the Kazova Volleyball Championships happening. Well, it's beginning tonight at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium. The men's team is up first. They play Jamaica tonight. The women's team will have their first game tomorrow night. They play Guadeloupe. You taking in some volleyball action?
I want to catch a Jamaica-Bahama game tonight, if I could.
Is it just because do we have like that kind of rivalry where anything with the Jamaica and Bahamas is happening and you just feel like you got to watch it just because of the possibility?
I always compare this, especially when I talk to actual Jamaicans. I always say to myself, it's like the worst big brother, little brother rivalry. Because in us, we feel like everything is a competition. In Jamaica, sometimes you just look at us like, I didn't even know y'all was there. Y'all was there?
Oh, this was like Dom Draper in Mad Men. Yes. He was getting on the studio and he was like, and Pete, it was Pete, right, who said, he was telling Dom how much he hates him, and Dom was like, I don't think about you at all.
Correct. That's what it is. So, second they said Jamaica, it's like, yeah, they could come out, they could be out there, they could be loud, because they countrymen here, so they go wild out. I just got to be in the building. I got to feel that energy. I got to remember what it's all about.
Listen, in some respects, that is true, but in some respects, we also know it's a legitimate rivalry in some places. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we see what y'all doing with Norman Powell and what y'all trying to build. Where y'all get that idea from?
Shout out to Bahamas.
Where y'all get that idea from?
We lead the market in some
You feel... everybody saw what happened when once we get Eric, and Eric hit all them amazing threes against Argentina, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, the Bahamas just beat Argentina twice. What is going on? Now all of a sudden all these NBA players trying to claim they Jamaican heritage, dog. Like we know who was the trendsetters with this.
As John would say, the Bob Marley Foundation got involved.
Bob Marley Foundation got involved.
They get so active right now.
Where's our foundation? See, this could just take me back to how much I always mad at our rich people. We just trying to have talks and stuff. We ain't even trying to like do things. I ain't granted that. Anyway, volleyball tonight.
Yes.
You want to catch that? So your impression from the guys who were in studio, did it get the excitement going?
No, it did. They focused primarily yesterday on just talking about their transition into volleyball. That's why I mentioned it during the football session. But just listening to them talk about the possibilities that winning this stage could get them to the next stage and actually qualify to go further. That's something you have to look forward to as a country, hoping the medal. So I'm very excited about what this tournament has to offer, because I think after I keep pronouncing it wrong, so I'm just gonna spell it. The Caribbean Championship version of the championship,
Kazova.
They go on to the NorCal.
Norseca.
There we go. See, it's a lot of letters and a lot of words.
It's a lot, and like I talked about with basketball earlier, the qualification process for all of this stuff starts at a very basic, at the floor level, and then you gotta work your way up. And I think even volleyball players would say this, but we kind of dropped the ball on an entire generation, because you had a point where you started to have pros coming out, right? Like you had guys like Byron Ferguson, Shinari Hepburn, those guys, and then it's almost as if it became non-existent locally and then non-existent internationally, because you got to have that development happening locally first before you can have it at the international point.
And that was something we got into yesterday, talking with the federation, the head of the federation, and his point was that we just need to organize the schedule to get it back into schools properly, because you have the BISS on one part of the schedule, you have the GSSSA on another, and then you have the other private schools somewhere in the middle around the championship window. So you just have to organize that to get the guys to be able to produce the next generation. And like you said, we missed out on that. So the joke I cracked yesterday was the idea that now what you got going on is we're trying to assemble the event just halfway through, because you have guys just being pulled from everywhere to make up these two teams.
But we do it with every sport.
That is true.
We literally do it across the board. That is the way it is. That from the youth level straight on up. Because, I mean, Kaizen's been a part of national baseball teams. That's kind of how it happens. Yeah. So we go with that, rally the team, it happens in movies. Little Giants is one that I always reference. So I always reference Little Giants and The Expendables on two opposite sides of the spectrum.
The same movie.
But they did the same thing. Exactly. They did the same thing. You go on the montage, you assemble the team, one by one you get them together.
And you go and take down the big
And
bad.
then you go and take down the guy. So this is what we try to do, and this is what's happening in volleyball. And I just always feel like that is, and we could say it about a lot of different sports, but that's one of the ones that really got the short end of the stick because of lack of organization, lack of foresight, and the potential for so many of them are there. Because
the part that pissed me off the most is just the issue that at the school level we face no gym time, because of the way a lot of the high school gyms are now like year round being taken up for stuff. The thing that is always left off the schedule is volleyball. And the point I made yesterday is I still don't understand why we just don't build a dedicated volleyball arena just to focus on that.
Lack of infrastructure, because now there had to be improvements made to Kendall Isaacs to host this. You had to bring it up to international standard. But you know what was happening while you had to do all of that? Basketball had to stop. And summer months in basketball is extremely important.
Yeah.
But that had to stop. Lack of infrastructure. So we can't spin multiple plates. We can only do one thing at a time. We can't walk and chew gum.
I hate to be petty, but that's technically sort of like kind of the reason why our national team had the whole training camp on the stretch in Nicaragua, because in order for us to accommodate this. And shout out to the Caribbean organizers who said yesterday he was really impressed by what the Bahamas has put in to host this tournament. And one of the things we put into this is, we know the Basketball Federation and the national team have to do what they got to do, but We gotta, balance this out.
Hey, we good at slapping something together last minute when we
It's
throwing a
the
party.
Baby
We
way,
can
boy.
clean up so well
It's
when
the
we know
Baby
we
way.
throwing a party.
The
That
party
ain't-
is important.
that ain't never be clean all the time. But when people coming over to that house, we about to clean that up. Why we can't just be like that all the time?
Because that's a lot of work, boy. We about all the work.
But we about the benefits from the work, right?
Yeah, the benefits. We ain't about the work, though. I just tell you, we here to get paid, boy.
You want to spin the wheel of issues one more time?
I thought that was the last time. Go.
We will spin the
what we
wheel
got
of
left on the
issues
wheel?
one more time, and we will know when the wheel stops. And I gotta ask you, last wheel of issues. Cardo, where did we land on the wheel of issues?
Is Ben Affleck the greatest Batman of all time?
Perfect. That is absolutely, and as you can see on the wheel of issues, that is the last one that we didn't get to because we always have to put at least one pop culture topic amongst all the sports, right? And the easy answer to that is no.
What?
Ben Affleck is not the greatest Batman of all time.
Nah, who's the greatest Batman of all time?
I think Twilight Guy is a better Batman than
You
than he
ridiculous.
is.
You ridiculous.
See, when we think of what makes a great Batman, right? I can never think of one version of Bruce Wayne. I think Ben Affleck is the greatest older Batman that we've had. I cannot see Ben Affleck as a good young Batman. I can't.
I think, this is why I say that there's possibility for that to be the case, that you can't see him as a great young Batman, but then I see moments, and you probably never watched the Flash movie. There was a chase scene in the Flash movie where he was on the highway and he was getting dragged. That showed me that if you saw that version of Batman in his early 30s, you realize he's breaking necks. He's beating heads.
You know what my biggest problem with it has been? I don't think he's a good Bruce Wayne.
What?
I don't think Ben Affleck's a good Bruce Wayne.
He is the best Bruce Wayne.
He's not the best Bruce. So those are two different conversations. Who's the best Batman and who's the best Bruce Wayne?
So who's the best Bruce Wayne?
I agree that look. He's not a popular choice. I enjoy Christian Bale as Batman. The interrogation voice, everybody knows how horrible it is. Everybody knows it needs work. I think Christian Bale's the best Batman. The best Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Hold on. The best Bruce Wayne was probably Val Kilmer.
This is ridiculous. So let's address the Bruce
George
Wayne.
Clooney. George Clooney's the best Bruce Wayne.
I can take that a bit.
George Clooney's best Bruce Wayne.
But no, let's address it like this. Let's do it with the Bruce Wayne first. The reason you would say let's stay with the Batman first.
Yeah.
The reason you would say Christian Bale is the best Batman is the same logic we use when it comes to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. He had a better system. He had a better coach.
He had a great system.
He had Christopher Nolan.
I understand my faults.
Perfect script.
I understand my
Perfect
faults,
script.
and I understand that trilogy is my favorite. So I am going to view it
Just
differently.
off of
I know.
pure talent, pure skill set, pure production, Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
No, but see, go back to the Brady Belichick thing though. At the end of the day, you will be rewarded for what your team does. And if your team wins championships, you will be viewed differently.
Fair point.
It's like the difference between Marino and Patrick Mahomes or Brady. Yeah. Marino had the talent to be on their level, but he did not have the team success. Okay. So Ben Affleck Batman did not have the team success that Christian Bale Batman has.
Was a horrible coach.
I'm just saying, he's a bad coach.
But Bruce Wayne. George Clooney, I could accept.
Because that's his real life. He's not acting. Before he got married, that was George Clooney. It was so easy for him. Seamless transition. I think the better question in this is, and I think there's an obvious answer, but people do have this argument all the time. Me and Kaizen actually had this argument before. Best Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire. Hands down.
It's not Tom Holland?
Tobey Maguire, hands down.
You don't think it's Tom Holland?
Tobey Maguire is probably the best adaptation of a superhero I've ever seen in my life. Next to Tobey Maguire, you could probably put up Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man that's ever been created.
I do credit Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man for bringing this new age of comic book films.
Hugh Jackman
back.
is up there.
Yeah, but Tom Holland though. You know what it is? Spider-Man 3 clouds a lot. It clouds a lot.
It does. It does. But my issue, now, not saying moving forward that Tom Holland can't
This is the best sports show I've ever been on in my life.
Not to say that Tom Holland can't ascend to that position. My issue with Tom Holland has always been...
3 movies in, you don't think he's there already?
No, because what happened is the first 2 movies have been overshadowed by more important people. Not to say that Spider-Man wasn't important in his introduction, but the role of having Tony Stark as Iron Man in there kind of ruined that for me. It was a good Spider-Man story.
Did it?
But
I thought it added to it.
No.
Okay, here's the thing.
They've never been that close in the comics. Stop trying to make them uncle and nephew father and son.
You're one of those that has to be exactly like the comic book.
Not exactly, but there's certain beat points that you have to put in there. Spider-Man and Iron Man does not need to be tied to the hip the way that we made it.
Okay, and this is why, and as we get out of here, this is what I'm simply going to say why Tom Holland will always be my GOAT, whether it's Spider-Man or anything else. He got his real gal from these movies. If that ain't the greatest Spider-Man ever, then I don't know what is. And that'll do it for this week on The Accredited. Got his real gal from the movie.
I respect that.
The greatest there's ever been. We'll see y'all next week.